Hello everyone, my name is Michael Young and welcome back to Factorio using the Sea Block Modpack. So we're expanding our base, our bot-based factory? Anyway, we're expanding to get sulfur dioxide, sulfuric acid, and now slurry. We're getting slag slurry. The next step, of course, is to filter it into mineral sludge. So let's make some room. Should we go this way? Let's go this way, sure. I'm actually imagining the filters are going to be pretty much the same as the old way we did the filters. So, yeah, not much different. Does the music seem unusually loud? It's not bad music, it's just I don't know. I find myself almost shouting to talk over it. Okay. So we have some crystallizers in our inventory, right? No we don't. Now where'd we get that bot? Oh well. Let's go grab a few. The big difference is going to be about the, we're gonna make the purified water arrive by bot instead of trickle in from the side. So let's look at the recipe. We are going to be using ceramic filtering. Which will need purified water, and we're going to have to accept an additional sulfuric wastewater, and we'll have to cleanse that. We'll need something to deal with the ceramic filtering. And the way we deal with those is by using purified water. Okay, yeah. So, heavy purified water drain. It's 50 every 2 seconds, and what is the speed of these things? I know we have some. Right? Oh, I thought we had some. Ah. There we go. Filtration units. So these are of speed 2.25. Alright. So we'll need 2.25. Oh no. Okay, wait a minute. Let me math this out. So we'll need solder smelting, sure. I'm not quite sure exactly. Apparently we're gonna start needing coolant for stuff. I haven't really been looking at the new recipes. Do they all need coolant? No? Anyway, sure, solder. Okay, so we are going to need, we're going to require 50 purified water. That will be the limiter. And this is every 2 seconds, but it's actually every 2.2 divided by 2.25. For 0.8 seconds, we'll need 56 water per second in order to keep everything going which is the equivalent of 8 of these filters. So, well, and then we'll need a different thing for the cleaning. Okay, that's that. This will eventually be pulling in sulfuric acid, but it's fine for now. Okay. We'll just start there. And we'll do them in pairs. So they are doing ceramic filtering. It could be a little tricky to get things to put the filters in. Maybe we should space them out by 2. Well, that would let us use the same box, but it would take up more space. That's fine. Okay. Those are the inputs. Here are the outputs. These can probably just be regular pipes, not underground pipes, but that's fine. Maybe not. No, they won't be able to. Never mind. They'll need to be like this. So we are grabbing the ceramic. And they should grab, say, well, okay, so they're going to be doing, we need 1 every 0.8 seconds. So maybe just keep a reserve of 40. Wow, we have like maybe 30 of these on the, well, that is quite a thing. Let's not do this pattern. This will be so much. Our bots will need to move this around so much. Let's just Is this gonna work? I'm not convinced it's gonna work. We had trouble last time with not being able to insert the filters we needed. Maybe we need an intermediate step. That's what we did last time. Okay, so we'll have the actual thing like that. It's a little, it's too big. Okay, we can make it off-centered. It can always just, yeah, that's not gonna be a problem. Okay, I get it. So we'll keep these in boxes. And just be careful not to introduce too many into the system. And then they'll just feed them back in as quickly as they can. This doesn't need anything, just purify water. Okay, but how does that change the calculation then? So... So each ceramic filter is actually 50 purified water, essentially. So instead, we'll need 100 purified water total for those two. So 100 purified water, which means only 4 per thing. That is why we are running out of water so much, because we were sucking up water so fast with these filters. There's that half of them were just sitting idle because there wasn't enough water getting down the pipes. Okay. And we'll limit these to just one, right? Yep. So we'll need something like 100 filters, just to make sure they're going the right ways. That'll work, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, we have them in our inventory, so go ahead and just steal them from me. Where are the filters? I swear, sometimes I'm looking for things I just cannot find them. Filter, not filters, the filtration units. No, we're gonna need more of these. All over the place. In fact, just go ahead and start delivering them to me. Where are they? There. I probably should go switch up to Mark IIs if I can. But that's we're not gonna escalate at all until we get steel rolling in. Oh, that doesn't reach across. Okay. Oh, we actually caught up on solar panels. Cool. How are we doing on power in the night? Back down to 0 in the day. But is that just that we are using less power now? Yeah, we're losing less power than we were at first. Oh well. Okay, now we need to supply this. We'll need 4 sets of barrels. Barrelers. How are we gonna do this? 2 outputs, 2 inputs. These are the outputs. Now let's just put them all on one side of this. I was tempted to put that out there, but no, that'd be a stupid idea. These are all going to use barrels, so we're going to need the active provider chests instead. A lot more than we have. I should just automate them. Make active provider chests. Oh, we actually seem like we're getting caught up on steel. Enough to produce, like, things. And we have a decent number of those stacking up. We're actually light on barrels. So where are all the barrels? We have a ton of barrels. I think I must have screwed up somewhere and they're sitting there somewhere. Maybe. No? Those are all good? That was the problem, but we fixed that. Ah, this should... Well, that's requester, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Well, I don't know. Maybe we just don't have enough barrels. I thought there were like several thousand extra barrels that we'd gotten stuck in a chest somewhere once. But it looks like there's only 100 empties in our logistics system. Meh. We have these saline bottles filling up. Where is that? Saline bottles. From that purification up there. Did we ever... What was this all about? Is that making purified? Wow, okay, that's not very walkable. Yeah. And these are all empty because purified is backed up. Okay. Those ones, they're twos. Yeah, I've been thinking we're getting purified mostly from here, but no. This is just extra waste product. We should maybe not even bother to, we might want to make sure the oxygen goes here before it goes there. Oh well, we can deal with that later. We should probably go turn bot production back on. But let's get this going first. There's always so many things, it's so easy to get distracted. And we did not actually get more active provider chests. That was the whole point of going. Okay, you are going to be getting purified and emptying it. As quickly as you can, because we're going to need it. That's the limiter, purified water right there. Maybe we should, increase this even further. 100. And you are going to be creating Slurry. Or you're going to be requesting Slurry. Do I care about this? I don't think so at the moment. What is nitinol? That's something completely different. Now, it's a apparently that opens the door to a lot of things. Looks like it's a military attack. That's where Power Armor 5 comes from. More complicated way of making resin. Better chemical plants that I could... Wait a minute, I actually have that already. I just placed a bunch of those. So that would be useless, so it would just move me to the next one, tier, but that's fine. Don't need that yet. I'm a little curious about coolant. Because I think we're going to need coolant sooner or later for some of our processing. Okay, and then on this side, this is sulfuric wastewater. And you need barrels. And this is the mineral sludge. It's not the prettiest little self-contained unit. Maybe I could have spaced these out so that they'd be on each corner. Meh. Sufficient. We'll even add a light. No, we shouldn't add a light. It'll mess up the pattern. Okay, so we need to add filters. The raw filters to start with. Or there's no, they can't do anything. And they need aluminum ore and something. You need filter frames, which need steel, like everything else. And then alumina. Steel's coming in at a pretty good clip now. Maybe I'm... Oh well. It's good to get this all set up anyway. Oh, we're gonna need iron. Ooh, we're running low on the what's it? Sulfur. Where is alumina? I know it was on our bus. There it is. Let's go check out our batteries and bots and all that. We've been so focused on our bot area. I think this is actually one of the first times we've left it in the past couple hours. Looks like there's actually some trouble with... No, that's fine. That's just waste product. Okay. We'll go ahead and turn this back on. What did you need? Why are you off? I forget. You are not getting the robot frames. The robot frames are off. Ah. Let's go ahead and set up more of the washing plants. We never finished that array, and the bots have been complaining about this entire time. We still don't have enough to do it, but we'll make progress towards it. I should grab some alumina so we can be handcrafting on the way over. Oh, are we actually getting some landfill up back here? A little bit. Yeah, it's really slow. Okay, this one is supposed to be facing up. Like that. And these face down. Let's do some of these up here instead, so we don't get so supply limited. And this whole bit was a bad idea. Let's get rid of that. Here. Oh, I see why I did it. Never mind. Let's leave it like this. Just so our bot network doesn't have to extend so far. These are all backed up. We have so much slag. How is this landfill production going? Too slow. This is so disorganized. What I really should be doing is like figuring out, like I really liked how we did this, where we kind of all just figured out exactly how far one would reach, and then filled up the inside of it with one thing. I should do that with all the other things. Like I should have an area that has like 3 of these on one side and 3 of the sulfuric acid ones on the other side, and that will just produce sulfuric acid from sulfur and oxygen and purified water. But oh well, that can be the next stage. At that point, we'll like add in train lines or something and use that to move things around. But never mind. For now, it's sufficient. You don't have purified water. Why not? Ah, we forgot a thing there. Looks good. We're making tons of mineralized. We don't need these bits here. Or on the other side. This is awfully unbalanced. I don't care. I'm gonna make myself not care about that. Okay, so we had really only 30 more. Should be good. Okay, so the next step, let's see exactly what we're gonna do, because we've unlocked some new recipes. We're looking, of course, for steel. That's the ultimate goal. We want just a ton of steel. So to get steel, we can get it from steel sheet coils. Interesting. Or from 2 iron plate, of course. But what's a steel sheet coil? So 80 molten steel becomes 2 steel sheet coils, or 140 becomes 4. That's it, but that needs more than I have. And the sheet, okay, it just unwinds into 4. Okay. So that's a way of, I guess at this point, it would just be a way of making the bots have to carry less things. Like, what does this require? Not that. Turning it back into steel. It's just a regular assembly machine. Skeptical. Very skeptical. So, interesting that what's the difference between these two? Anyway. We're going to get it all from molten steel. We get molten steel in 3 ways. Or no, we can use 3 things. We can get it in 5 ways. Mostly from steel ingots, or we can combine with silicon or manganese. I haven't really been thinking about manganese. We can't do this yet. Cobalt and nickel. Or chrome and tungsten. Okay, but we could do this. Where do we get the manganese? From nodule sludge, right. I think we're just gonna focus on silicon right now. It makes it easier to think about. So we're gonna want steel and ingots and silicon ingots. The steel ingots, of course, come from iron ingots and oxygen. The iron ingots come from iron ore, or the new thing we got was making pellets. So now we can combine iron pellets and limestone. Which we'll have to make from mud. Because we have lime on our what's it called, our bus, but limestone's different. Okay, but this the way that works. This happens in a blast furnace. The iron pellets are just 3 processed iron. Okay. I'm having trouble figuring this out in my head. So let's just say this: we're getting the iron ore from the crushed stuff. Or should we do sapphirite chunks? Maybe better to just do crushed stuff. I like that. Let's work this out. So say I've got 1,000. Okay, let's start even earlier. We have 1,000 mineral sludge. How are we gonna turn that into the most steel? What path shall we take? So the obvious way, assuming that we're gonna go straight to iron ingots. So mineral sludge makes sapphirite ore. So that would be equal to 40 ore, which doesn't actually seem that much. Or 40 saf ore is a better way of saying that. Because we'll confuse it with the iron ore itself. Once you have the sapphirite ore, we can either burn it directly. No, we can't. All we can do is turn it to crushed. So 2 sapphirite ore is 2 crushed saf. And we're going to be getting 40. So it gives us 40 going out. And we're going to use the crushed sapphirite in many different ways. This is like, I gotta turn that down on my own speakers. Okay. I'm not even trying to get timings and that. We can figure that out later. I just want to make sure that we have the right path. So we're going to need the same thing. We're going to need crushed givelite. And that's the same exact recipe, right? So far. Yeah. So let's instead say we're going to split it between 2. We're going to put 500 sludge there. Well, we can work that out later. We're going to get 40 ore total. And it's going to be a mixture of sapphirite and givelite. And then of that, we can use 4 of those. Or 4 crushed to turn into 4 ore. And we're actually going to be getting 40 crushed. which will give us 40 ore. Or we could take the 2 crushed and turn it into 2 chunks. Or we could just burn it. Or sort it naturally and get 2 ore from it. Which is the worst option, I think. Because that 4 crushed sapphirite by itself could be 4 iron, right? Now 3 could become 2. Okay, sure, that's another option. You could just take... I just want to see the efficiency of these different options. Let's squish these together more. We could take 3 crushed and turn that into 2 iron, 2 plate. And we have 40 crushed, which would be 26 plate. Or about 2 yellow belts. Oh, actually that'd be plate per second. This is a 26 plate without a number indicator. But instead, we are going to, if we turned it, okay. So that's the one way of getting ore. This would be another way of getting chunks, which we would then turn into ore. So this would continue on. So this could turn 6 sapphirite chunks into 2 iron. Well, really it's going to give us silicon too. So maybe we should count that. Say it's going to give us 3. No, let's just say 2 for now. Make it, well... let's just count the iron ore for now. So that gives us 2. We actually are going to be getting 40. So the equivalent would be 13 iron ore. So that would give us 40. This would give us 13. That's pretty terrible. Or we can make crystals now, can't we? Yeah. So we could instead take 2 chunks and turn them into 2 crystals. Or we could turn them straight into silicon ore. That's probably the best way to approach this. 1-to-1 with chunks. That seems... that later down the line. Well, let's think about that later. Not the silicon. We'll focus us on iron for now. So the crystals, we could then take 8 crystals for 3 ore. Okay. Let's go ahead and count the silicon as an iron ore. It's probably more fair. So for 4 ore, we'd actually have 40 crystals. So that would give us 20 ore. You know, 40 crushed is 40 ore. I mean, so far we're not getting that much of an advantage. We're just gaining different things. This was also yield titanium. We can make purified already too. Basically, I know I'm going to eventually want to do all this stuff, but maybe not yet. Maybe right now I don't care about titanium. I care about steel. But I just want to. It's good to figure it out in my head. So 4 crystals. Alternatively, 4 crystals could become 4 purified. And we actually have 40 crystals. So that would be 40 purified, of course. And then the purified breaks down into 4. 9 purified is 3 and plus 1, 4. Yeah, this is all about increasing mineral variety, and I don't need to do that right now. So let's... Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to do that at the moment. Even this would be a bit easier to get by, well, by doing something like this. So we're getting a ton of titanium ore, rather than a mix of a bunch of different things. Okay, so go back. Right now, we've got 40 ore. What's the next step? We're going to only stop at the 2 crusts. We're not going to bother doing chunks or anything. So the 40 ore... gets halved into processed iron. I know this is going to be worse, so we're not even going to look at that. Well, we should look at the different ways you could do it. So this is the bad way. We could turn 40, well, we could turn 4 iron ore into 3 plates. We actually have 40, so that divided by that times that. That would give you 30 plates. Alternatively, we could turn 24 ore into 24 ingots. Which would be 40 ingots, of course. And then the ingots would then turn into 8 steel. Right? Yeah, there's only one way to make that. Which is 13.33. Okay, that's kind of the end for that route. There's really some cross. It goes across things because we could be producing silicon during this process. Instead, it's easier just to think of it as not as separate processes. Okay, we're not going to do it that way. We were instead going to turn it into... Where is it? Processed iron. Let's start over here. So 4 iron becomes 2 processed iron. We actually have 40. That's 20 processed. And the processed we can either just turn into to iron with coke. I forgot about the coke. We don't have a coke production in our belt place yet. But we will. So you could take 8 processed, turn it into 24 ingots. I should just use the ingots as my last step, because this is a single thing we could do. So in practice, we're going to get 40 ingots by following that route. Well, it's different than that, so let's move down a little. There you go. Okay, so we actually have 20 processed. So we'd be getting 60 ingots. Really? I guess so. So 8 is only 16. That 8 processed iron would be 16 ore. 16 becomes 24. That's 60 versus 40? Is that even the same ratio? Let's see. 16 to 24 is 0.66. It's increasing at half again. Versus 60 over 24, or no, 40 over 60, which is half again. Okay. For some reason, I just wasn't connecting the right things. So that's clearly a better way than that. Let's see how much more gains we get by going to the next step, by turning it into pellets. So 3 processed becomes 4 pellets. We actually have 20. Which will generate 26 pellets for us. Then we use the pellets to turn them into iron ingots with adding some limestone. Okay, so end of the day. End of the day, if we... Is there another step we could be doing after this? Maybe not. Anyway, so if we just do... if we just burn the ore, we're going to be getting... Where did I do that? 40 ingots. If we process, we'll be getting 60. If we do pellets, we get 80. That's it's a pretty solid increase. I mean, the real benefit is going from there to there. This is half again, whereas this is only a third again. It's worth it. It's worth doing that. It's another step. I'll have to produce some limestone, but that makes sense. Okay, so that's iron, but this had 2 sides to it. We wanted to get the silicon too. So silicon ore can be produced in more complex ways. This is gonna be trickier. I'm just gonna ignore these recipes that produce a ton of different things and look for the one that gives me a single one. There's one. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have to do. This is more complicated. So basically, we need 4 chunks to generate 4 ore and 1 mineral catalyst. We don't know where the catalyst come from. The catalyst is 25 mineral sludge. Just flat out 25 mineral sludge. Okay. So each chunk is 25 too, right? Yeah. So in practice, we just need 5 chunks. That's the equivalent of 5 chunks. I think so. I'm hoping I'm right. Anyway, we're thinking we can get from 1,000 mineral sludge, we could turn it into 40 chunks. Which is 32 silicon ore. Okay. The next step there. Silicon actually is an issue. We need silicon for a lot of things. So there's the same sort of step for the processing. You turn 4 silicon into 2 processed. Just the same as that. No, we're going to have that much ore. Or we could just burn it directly, I'm assuming. But we know that's not a good idea. 24, yeah, 1-to-1 for that. 4-to-3 for glass. Can't do that yet. Okay, what's the next step after this? This is more complicated. And we would need trichosilane. Silane? We need hydrogen chloride gas, which we can produce. We know how to do that. It just needs saline water. Right? Yeah. I don't have the ability to make pellets yet, so that's where I'm going to stop for that on this side. So we'll need hydrogen chloride gas. We'll need to figure out what to do with this. If nothing else, we could just throw it away. Oh, we can use it to then make more ingots. Ah, I see. That's a nifty little thing. Is there anything else like that? Yeah, with silane gas. That's a way to turn this. No. Where's silane gas from? From processing the pellets. I see. Yeah, the whole smelting is going to get complex over time, but I think we have our plan now. We'll have to we're gonna use processed silicon, and we'll have to make Bob Moan. Oh, what was that? That was okay. So the silicon is to get the silicon. We're going to crystallize SAF and Bob ammonium and make the catalyst. Then we're going to process and then turn to steel. For the iron, we're just gonna take the crushed. I forgot to take the crushing into account there, but that's fine. And it's just gonna be SAF and Givalite in equal numbers. Yeah, both of them are equal numbers. That's good. So we're gonna need twice as much SAF and then one each of Bob's. 1 Bob and 1 Givalite. Okay. I apologize for the long planning session, but it gave my bots a chance to catch up on things. How busy are they right now? They're not that busy, actually. How is the power? Power's going fine. Do we have... We do. We should plant some more accumulators. How many is that? Each one 15? So that will be more than we have, but that's okay. Are we making crystallizers? Oh, we have some of these. Let's go ahead and expand this so that you can build more. Just keep the solar rolling. Alright, so crystallizer 2s, that's what we're looking for. Do we need ore sorting? I don't think so. These are the ones that need steel. It's over an hour. I should stop. Thank you for bearing with me while I am trying to figure out the math of these things. Or really, I wasn't even doing the math. I was trying to figure out the process. So thank you for watching. My name is Michael Young, and this is Factorio using the Sea Block Modpack.